All right. Allow me to state something that is probably blatantly obvious for many men watching this video. TRT, or testosterone replacement therapy, is exploding right now and has been so for probably at least the past decade. There are clinics literally popping up everywhere, and if you look at your feed, most men's feed, especially in the personal development, self-development, and fitness, are just littered with ads for TRT or something similar. Fitness influencers and influencers everywhere are promoting it. And men are lining up for prescriptions like the soup kitchens of the Great Depression. And most times, guys, the story is always the same or some iteration of, it helped me get my life back. But here's an uncomfortable truth, guys, and something that many of you probably won't want to hear. But for a huge proportion or a huge percentage of men, TRT is not a treatment. It's a shortcut around fixing a broken lifestyle. And shortcuts, guys, as we know, they come with a cost. They always do. And as I always say, there's no free lunch, guys. Everything comes with a cost. All right, let me get some things clear before people get all emotional and get their panties in sort of a bunch. So, it is a well-known fact, and it has been proven, that testosterone levels have been on decline for decades. I'll put some charts up on the screens. There's simply no denying this. This is scientific fact. Well, what is contributing to this? Well, it's environmental factors combined with our increasingly sedentary lifestyles that are at the core of the issue, okay? Things such as plastics, ultra-processed foods, alcohol, less labor-intensive work, increased digital exposure, weight gain, obesity, porn are among the things that are most commonly cited. Now, as well, TRT, guys, testosterone replacement therapy, is a legitimate medical treatment for men with clinically low testosterone. This is done by confirming blood work, blood panels, and men displaying recurring and sort of consistent symptoms. Organizations such as the Endocrine Society and the American Urological Association outline when they deem this appropriate. Now, I know there's a high level of skepticism now, especially toward the medical community, guys, but these organizations still have validity, guys. Let's be clear on that. And that's what's not driving the boom anyways. I hope most of you realize this. So what is driving this boom, this TRT boom? Well, it's a culture that wants results without doing the work. And guys, this isn't just, for TRT or getting your testosterone raised. It's for everything, okay? And an industry all too happy to sell you a solution for a profit. So why do men think they need TRT? Well, let's look at the symptoms on nearly every guy's list who cites they need TRT. They have the low energy, low libido, they have the brain fog, they have poor motivation. Now, these things might in actuality be happening, but let's look around, let's peel back the onion and take a little deeper look. Most of these guys are not getting adequate sleep, getting 5-6 hours, probably interrupted sleep. They have high stress. They have minimal, if any, resistance training. They're shoveling ultra-processed food and dog shit down their throats. They're doing regular alcohol, possibly drugs, regular porn habits, and as I said, there's no fitness or exercise routine. So, to that end, guys, there is strong evidence that all of these things suppress testosterone levels naturally. Sleep restriction alone has been shown in studies to reduce testosterone 10-15% in a week. Now, guys, little sidebar here. This is not a prescription. This is not medical advice. But the one thing, if you're going to do one thing, guys, to sort of fix your testosterone, it's sleep, period. You don't have to do anything else. Sleep alone is going to raise your testosterone. Getting that 8 hours a night of uninterrupted sleep, that's where testosterone is produced. All right, guys, let's get back at it here. So another thing is higher body fat. Well, that's associated with lower testosterone due to sort of hormonal conversion processes. So before you rush out and say, my T is deficient, we probably need to ask this. Are you under-recovered? Are you overstressed? Are you under-trained? And your answer needs to be brutally honest, guys. So now, guys, I want to talk about why this is everywhere, meaning TRT. Why is it literally ubiquitous? Well, first and foremost, TRT is not a one-time fix. That would be delightful now, wouldn't it? No, it is ongoing therapy. And this therapy is going to cost you anywhere from roughly $100 to $500, maybe upwards, US dollars per month. These are averages, guys. There could be a little more, a little less, just, sort of averages that are on the internet here. You're going to have regular lab testing. You got to keep going, getting those labs. And then they're going to encourage you to get some sort of add-ons, like these sort of en vogue peptides that are, becoming very popular right now and being pushed by a lot of fitness influencers, HCG, HGH as well, human growth hormone. So guys, what is that? So over the course of the year, that could be anywhere from say, $2,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 and upwards. And from a business standpoint, meaning the people selling the testosterone, the TRT, it's perfect. It's a money printing machine, guys. This is recurring revenue. Long-time customers, lifetime customers, guys. High demand is fueled by basically, in almost all instances, three things: ego, vanity, and insecurity. And when these clinics sort of blur the line between treatment and optimization, guys, that's where things get rather questionable and sometimes even dangerous. And here's where the conversation is going to get sort of watered down or conveniently sort of glossed over. TRT is not risk-free. As I said at the beginning of the video, guys, there is no free lunch. Nothing comes without a catch in this life. And the science is very, very clear on several key points. Starting with number one here, natural testosterone suppression. So when you take this exogenous testosterone, meaning from the external, putting it into your body, it's going to suppress your body's own production by feedback mechanisms. This is well documented in endocrine research, guys, and I will put a link on the screen to the studies. Number two, fertility impact. Now, depending on your age, you may want kids, you may not. But if you do, here's something to consider. TRT can significantly reduce sperm production. That's why medical guidelines will caution men who want children before starting the TRT regimen. Again, I will put link on the screens to the studies or these studies. Now, I'm not sure if I'm saying this word exactly right, guys, but polycythemia, I believe is exactly how it's said. What this does is an increase in the red blood cell count is a known side effect, raising the risk of clotting if not monitored. Again, guys, science is not 100% here, but I will again link a study on the screen. Number four, cardiovascular risk, guys. I can spit the word out. And context does matter here, okay? Allow me to be clear on this point. Just like the previous point, the research here is somewhat mixed, but some studies show increased risks, others sort of neutral when it's properly managed. But misuse, guys, higher dosages, and poor monitoring can increase these concerns. As with all things, guys, dose matters. Again, link the studies on the screen. And then lastly, dependence. So, guys, I talked about this. Once you're on TRT, most men are going to be on it for life. Stopping can lead to hormonal crashes because your natural production has been suppressed. Okay, guys, there are guys I followed who came off and is not an easy process and something you really need to put some thought into, guys. So let me be precise, guys, and crystal fucking clear. TRT is not some vitamin. It's not some pill. This is a long-term hormonal manipulation, period. And here's what's sort of grinds my gears, guys, and sort of gets me, I suppose. TRT is being marketed as basically a cheat code. More energy, more muscle, more drive. And on the surface, these are all positive effects. I mean, what man wouldn't want these, right? And yes, it can do that. Here's the problem. If you use shortcut to bypass behaviors that actually build those traits, the ones I just mentioned, you don't fix the root issue. You just cover it up. Think of it like a Band-Aid, guys, for a gunshot wound. In the moment that something goes wrong, you've got no foundation to fall back on. As with many medicines, marketed currently, especially in the West, they address the symptoms, and they rarely, if ever, address the root cause. So guys, if you're 30 plus, but let's say 35 to 55, again, which hits my core audience, this is where you need to be brutally honest with yourself. And I mean brutally fucking honest, guys. Because this is the group that TRT advertisers are targeting the most heavily. But most men in this range haven't, as I said earlier, haven't optimized their sleep, maintain any strength or resistance training routine, or sort of manage their body composition. Again, in the United States, 75% of people are overweight, 40+% are obese. So let's start there, guys, okay? And these three factors alone are strongly tied to T levels, your testosterone levels. The guidelines, and any clinician, doctor worth a shit, guys, any doctor worth a shit generally recommends lifestyle intervention before therapy, and especially in these borderline cases. If your doctor, you walk in there and he just handed you a script for TRT, you're at the wrong fucking doctor. Again, jumping straight into TRT, that's not optimization, guys. That's escalation. All right, guys. So at this point in the video, and after detailing why I think you should rethink TRT, you're probably wondering, what other options do I have? Well, guys, I'm not going to just leave you hanging here. I'm going to tell you what actually works. And it's backed up by data and results in the real world. As I said earlier, resistance training increases testosterone acutely and improves long-term hormonal health. Adequate sleep, guys. I will bang the drum to the day's end. Critical for T regulation. Fat loss, guys. Lose body fat and watch your drive. Your T levels go up, your sex drive, your libido. Trust me on this one. This improves the levels in overweight men. When they start to lose this body fat, you will see your T levels start to increase, in many cases even spike. Nutrition. Guys, eating, red meat, eggs, real butter, real foods. I should have just said it simply with that. Eating real foods, guys, and cutting out the garbage. Get rid of alcohol, guys. You don't have to be a teetotaler, but if you're drinking, 2 cases of beer a week or whatever the hell it is, cut back on that shit, guys. It's killing you. It's killing your T. Guys, on its surface here, none of those things is very sexy, right? None of it's fast. It's no quick pill. There's no magic bean there. But what it does, all these things, they fucking work. And it improves not just your testosterone, but your overall health, your longevity, and your performance. Look, guys, I'm not here to completely sort of, shoot down TRT. It does have a place in medicine. And my intent here is not to dispute that. But what we're seeing now, it's a shift from sort of treatment for something that's necessary for a small percentage of men to convenience, from necessity to avoidance. So before you even consider TRT, ask yourself this: have I actually done the fucking work and earned the right to say that I actually need this? Or, as I said earlier in the video, are you trying to fix a lifestyle problem with a medical solution? Because those are two very different paths, guys. Let's be clear on that. One builds you. The other, it rents you a version of yourself. All right, guys, I know this one's probably going to be controversial. I want to know your comments on this. Where do you stand on this? what your age is. And again, are you doing this already? Are you considering this? Drop it in the comments below, guys. I want to know. As always, appreciate you all the support for the station. If you found this video, valuable, click the like. If you found this content and the content on my channel valuable and you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Guys, as always, I'm going to end it here, but remember, live deliberately.